Good morning and welcome. It is Friday, the 8th of July, and you are watching The Splash Live. Good to be with you. My name is Dave Scott. I'm the general manager of Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM, WBLD Radio. And here we are back again with our unique television and radio simulcast. It's called The Splash Live. We are here each Monday through Friday at 9:30 from 9:30 till 10 with a half an hour of information, news, updates, stories, interesting goings on right here in the greater West Bloomfield area. And for us, it means West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, Kegel Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and some of the surrounding communities as well. Now, this is just part of a packed 150 minutes of live television each Monday through Friday. Starts at 9:30 and runs until noon. We do 3 shows: The Splash Live, very West Bloomfield. Then the Oakland County Megacast begins at 10 o'clock with Tyler Keefe. And then Tyler, hardest working guy in media in West Bloomfield, continues with another hour of the Megacast, this time Michigan focused. So we start very focused West Bloomfield, then we roll into Oakland County, and then the Michigan Megacast. So much to get to on the program. First of all, take a quick look at the weather today for the greater West Bloomfield area. Temperatures are going to be in the low 80s today. Very comfortable, good summer day. Maybe a shower or two in the area. Don't fret, the weekend is going to be perfect. Great weekend to get out on Orchard Lake, Cass Lake, Sylvan Lake, one of the many lakes around the area. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-80s, and we are going to have wall-to-wall sunshine. So if you are a boater, a swimmer, you like to get out and kayak or walk the trails, the incredible trails we have here in West Bloomfield, do some biking, whatever it is that you like to do. This, my friends, is going to be the weekend. One of the things a lot of people do here in West Bloomfield is go to the public library, especially when it's very hot. Well, as you know, we've had a little problem in West Bloomfield. The air conditioning system at the West Bloomfield Public Library, we call it the HVAC system, hasn't been working. They tried to repair it, and they've been unable to make the repairs. And you have to wonder, well, why could it be so hard to fix the air conditioning system? Well, it's like everything else in this COVID-19 era. We have supply chain problems in getting all the parts and the pieces. So the good news is there's always a West Bloomfield story of somebody here to come and help. And my good friend Byron Conselmo, and you may know him from the Byron Emotion Band. He plays a lot of concerts in the area along with his wife, Michelle. Like most musicians, it's a day job, and he works for Mobile Air and Power. And I talked to Byron just a couple of minutes ago, and he and Jeff Crocker from the library are over there installing that chiller that you see on TV right now. Now, that's kind of a rental portable chiller. Think of it from a big library perspective, like that window you put in your house, right, to get through the bad days, or if you don't have the air conditioning working. So they got to take that big thing that you see that's on the forklift, get it to the library, and use it temporarily to get the library open again. So again, great story. Just want to give a nod to Byron Conselmo and to Jeff Crocker over at the library. They're working real hard. Local vendor, local company, local guy, and to find people at the library to get things open. This will be a temporary fix, but it'll be a good one to get us through the next several months. Then all the parts that we need will probably come in. And, you know, it could take several months to get these parts in, but they will get here and we will get things fixed. They say they have it working over the weekend. Just stay tuned. Go to the library's website, and they will let you know when they get open again. And I know how many people in the community that's important to. Hopefully that update is helpful to you. Want to go swimming in Sylvan Lake. Ferndale Beach is still closed. It's not unusual that we have E. coli problems in some of our lakes during the summertime. Currently, Oakland County has closed Ferndale Beach on Sylvan Lake, so be aware that beach is closed. We will keep you up to date right here on the Splash Live. Hopefully we get together again on Monday. That problem has resolved itself. You know, we have some of the most amazing students right here in the greater West Bloomfield area. They excel academically. They excel in extracurriculars. And I know as a play-by-play host of the West Bloomfield High School football team that we have really, let's be honest, one of the best high school football teams in the state of Michigan. And that was verified one more time with the news today in the Detroit Free Press that Amir Herring, a 4-star offensive lineman from your West Bloomfield Lakers class of 2023, yes, a senior this year, has committed to the University of Michigan. So that's going to be great. And there are a lot of other schools that were after Amir Herring, and that includes Nebraska, Missouri, BC. So this 6'3", 290-pounder will be playing for us in the Lakers. I get to call his name this year, and then he'll be at Michigan next year. Samaj Morgan, another senior on the Lakers, amazing receiver, also going to the University of Michigan, and they're going to be joining a lot of other players from West Bloomfield that are already there. You know, I was kind of a Sparty fan. I like on all maize and blue because we're taking so many of our students going to all of our universities, but a lot of them going to the Michigan program. Congratulations to them. And it's just a really quick opportunity for me to remind you to make sure you tune in. Something new this year, we mentioned it briefly yesterday, but the Michigan High School Athletic Association has approved new rules that will allow us to broadcast the West Bloomfield High School football games on TV this year. So look for all of the games to be broadcast live. Yours truly and Tyler Keefe will be doing all the play-by-play, and we'll have our video crew out there, and we look forward to that. One final note on sports, one of my favorite subjects, and we'll get on to the business of the day. There they are, your West Bloomfield High School Lakers. Did you see what the Michigan legislature is doing right now? They are considering a bill to allow drinking at your college football games. Not as if there isn't enough consumption going on at the tailgates before the games. Now the state legislature is going to say right there at the Big House at Michigan State, at our other universities, you're going to be able to drink at the games. Now, no one likes a beer more than I do, but is this a really good idea? I don't know. Tyler Keefe is going to be talking more about that coming up on the MegaCast when he gets into the Oakland County and the Michigan MegaCast following immediately after this show. So just some of the things going on right here in our own backyard, and I appreciate you taking time to check in with us this morning as we run down that. So we talked about supply chain issues and all of the economic challenges that we're having in our country today, and I was just kind of curious what impact that is really having on our local real estate market. So we're going to find out. We are delighted to be joined this morning by one of the leaders in real estate in our area. He's the sales manager of a local Coldwell Banker Weir Manuel office right here in our area, Don Amalfitano. Hopefully I got your last name pretty close. Don, great to have you here. I did not? Oh, I did it. Okay, good. Well, Don, thank you very much for joining us here on the show. Let's get right to it. The economy is a mess right now. There's so many challenges. We can't even get our air conditioner parts for the West Bloomfield Library. What kind of impact is this having on our very important home market in West Bloomfield?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It all starts from pre-pandemic issues that resulted in a decrease in supply chain, which resulted in more demand of goods because people weren't out buying and they weren't going out on vacations and using services. So what they were doing was buying things at home, and because we had workers impacted and we didn't have the amount of people and the transportation and the shipping lines available to them, we've kind of gotten into this whole situation. So when you think about it, we're currently at an inflation rate at 8.6% for goods and services. And if you, in terms of a good note, I think, which will also help impact housing a little bit, is we expect that to decline by the end of 2022. So we're looking for that to be closer to 6 to 7% rate of inflation, which is not nearly what it was pre-pandemic, around 1.8%. However, how does that affect the home buyer? Well, traditionally, when you look at it, because of that inflation rate, because of the cost of those goods and services and other things that they're trying to make a living with, they're paying an additional $429 monthly for all their other items other than shelter. And when we look at the average increase of wages, they've only increased about $212 per month. And as a result, they're short by $217 per month, which means, they have to look at homes that are less expensive. So on average, and this is a very general statement, the majority of those consumers now, they're looking at homes that are maybe about $42,000 less than what they would have normally been able to afford had not all of those other factors impacted them. The good news is we see a little bit less of inventory. We see, a little more inventory hitting the marketplace, which is good. We see still pretty short days on the market. So don't get me wrong, it's still very much a seller's market. And people have to understand we are on what we refer to as the cusp of a market change, right? And sellers usually don't understand that until they experience it, because they always lag behind a little bit. Mm-hmm. But what that means for the consumer is that buyers will now have a little more opportunity. They will have a chance to negotiate a little bit more. However, the seller is still very much in control. And it's actually not a bad situation, because it will get us back to what would be more a normal market. We're not nearly there, but it will give a little bit of relief for the buyer who's been on the fence and maybe they want to get back into it. We've seen interest rates rise, and then we've also seen them come down a bit. So they're a little bit teetering right now. And it's so funny because there's a whole generation of people who don't know interest rates, higher than 3%. So they're like in a quandary right now when they don't realize really where we're at right now in the high fives is a fantastic interest rate.
So Don, what does this do, especially in our market of West Bloomfield, where we got a lot of very high-end properties that people might have been able to get into in a low interest rate condition, but right now they're out of their reach? Is that affecting the inventory that's available? Are we seeing a lot of these high-end homes now more available, and are the prices coming down on them a little bit as a result?
Well, that's a perfect question, because the way we sense a market change is not only by statistics, but by what we feel as practitioners in the market. And so right now we're seeing more price reductions. We're seeing homes stay on the market a little longer, and we're seeing people having to do open houses. They didn't have to do that a few months ago because things were selling so fast. So a lot of that comes with how well you're having conversations with your customer, your seller, and guiding them in the transaction and making sure they're positioning themselves well. So, as I said, sellers are not always ready to digest a shift. They've experienced something very strong. So
Don, it's the middle of summer. Traditionally, it's the time of year when parents are looking at maybe moving, their kids are out of school. It's a great time to transition. We've had a lot of long sentences here. Let's boil it down just to the brass tacks. Can you find a house, if you really want to move this summer, can you find a house? Are there houses available? And what are our home buyers who still want to move before school starts, what are they going to face?
I think they're still going to have opportunity. They're going to find a house. I think they're going to have choices. They still don't have a lot of choices. Inventory is still very low, but they actually have a little more room to negotiate. They may get a little better price than they could have before, but they also have to factor in they can't afford as much as they could. Now, that's assuming we don't have a cash buyer.
Yeah, Don Amalfitano is with us with Coldwell Banker Weir Manuel here in the West Bloomfield area. Hey, Don, so do people that are getting into a home now, what do they do about the interest rate and the finance? Do you like to see people get that worked out before they come in and start shopping for specific homes? Or how does that working? And just one other sidebar on that. Can these interest rates be set to be adjustable over time? So when the rates come down, they'll be able to accommodate that, or will they have to just go back and renegotiate their interest rates in the future?
Yeah, I think there's no question they need to work out their ability of what their affordability is. I always tell people, we don't want to take you out shopping until you really know what you can afford, because you'll fall in love with something that maybe you can't have. Or worse, you may look at things that you compromised on when you could have gotten all those things you really wanted. So stopping with the lender as your first point of beginning the process is the way to go. And in terms of the interest rates, there are alternative products. If they want to go with a short-term ARM, like a 7-year ARM, they're going to get a little better rate. If they want to buy down a percentage point because it helps them monthly, they can pay a little bit more and bring that percentage rate down. There's different loan products that are out there right now that will help you overcome some of those challenges with the higher rates. So it's still very much an open market for most people.
Well, Don, I appreciate you coming on today. We are fundamentally, from a business standpoint, a bedroom community, and I can't think of any bigger business in our communities than real estate and our homes. It's our biggest investment, and I appreciate you taking time to, it made me feel a little more comfortable, to make our viewers feel a little bit more comfortable. Thanks for your time. If people want to get a hold of you, maybe they're working on a transaction or looking for a home, how would they do so?
Well, they can certainly call me direct if they like at 248-854-5624. And if we can assist you, I have a team of wonderful, very highly skilled professionals ready and willing to help.
Don, your office has been very responsive to us in the past. Thanks for being with us today at short notice. And thank you very much for joining us today on The Splash Live. Good to be with you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Dave Scott. We're going to take a quick break. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. When we return, we're going to talk about a program that is essential to the people of our community, and a program that really needs your help. It's Meals for Wheels, and we'll find out more about that coming up in just a couple of minutes. When we return, you are watching The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Again, good to be with you. My name is Dave Scott, General Manager here at Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for joining us on the simulcast here today. I mean, how cool is it? We have our own television station here in West Bloomfield. We have our own radio station that covers most of the area. So if you're watching and you need to jump in your car, you can go tune in there. And an incredible website, civiccentertv.com, where all of this content is always streaming live in full high definition. So CivicCenterTV.com, 89.3 Lakes FM, and of course on cable on Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99. It's Civic Center TV and The Splash Live Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 10. Tyler Keefe in after 10 o'clock today with the Michigan Megacast and the Oakland County Megacast. More regional information for you right here in the program. So, you know, as you take a look at our community and our elder population in West Bloomfield, you know, we have been a community that has been a very hospitable location for folks as they get into the later years. And you know, doing all that we can here to service that community is one of the key things that we all need to do as good neighbors, family members, and friends. So that's why when you take a look at some of the programs that we have available to serve the elderly, to serve people that have difficulty getting around, to help people that might need a helping hand in their home. I can't think of very few programs maybe are more important than that. And one of the key programs we have right here in our community that is so helpful is Meals for Wheels. It's not a name that you're not familiar with. Joining us now is Candie Hovarter. She is the Outreach Director for Meals on Wheels. Did I get that? Meals on Wheels, Meals for Wheels? Let me get that right out of the outset, Candie.
Okay.
Hi, Candie. You with us?
I am.
All right, there you go. You're looking good. Thank you for joining us. And, you know, I should know this. Is it Meals on Wheels? Did I have that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I wrote it down. So it's good to have you with us. Tell me a little bit about what you do and how you help people that are at home and may not have the ability to get a good meal in front of them every day.
Well, we serve a hot meal Monday through Friday. A lot of times we'll bring them breakfast too. It's kind of a morning thing for us. So in West Bloomfield, volunteers pick up the route at 9:30. So the seniors start to get their meals anytime after that. And it's, a varied menu. It's good stuff. I eat it sometimes when I'm there. And it has to meet all the nutritional guidelines. So it's, it comes with a milk. We do skim and no dessert if they're like on a diabetic type diet. And what we really need out there is volunteers, but we're just trying to let the seniors stay home, an age in place, they call it.
Uh-huh. So, Candie, how does it work? I mean, how do you get this food from your kitchens, wherever they happen to be, and get it all the way to people in their homes? It's got to be a big, complicated process that involves a lot of hands and making it all work. How does that work?
It is. Well, our kitchen currently is in the old Heartland High School, which is at like 59 and old, like old 23. Mm-hmm. And so we have, after the meals are made in the morning, then he's a paid employee actually that puts him in big vans and he takes them to different sites. Like it could be a church, it could be in West Bloomfield, for instance, is at the Parks and Rec Center, mm-hmm. Walnut. And then the volunteers go there to get their route and they're divided up. So there's a insulated bag that has the hot meals and there's a cooler that has the milk. And then there's the box that has a bag in it that might have, say, if it's a cheeseburger, it would have like the bun. Sometimes we're allowed to give dessert. I think it's Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then there's a bag with the breakfast items in there. So they pick up, their containers. And then the routes, we're like a test group, really, for using an iPad. So they log into that and it tells them who their first stop is. And they go there. And it'll say, like a hot meal with a breakfast, and they get a skim milk. So they just gather all that up and hand it to the senior. And it tells some of our seniors, like they can't get the door. So we have an agreement where we would knock first and announce who we are and then go in like that. Sometimes they can get the door, they're just slow to the door. It just has instructions. And then we want our drivers to talk to them for a minute, because that might be the only person they see all day.
Well, Candie, I appreciate you saying that because I was just thinking about that. How important this must be. You're at home, you're isolated. This might be maybe you're having a hard time preparing meals for yourself. You might be able to get something out of the fridge, but, it's a little bit too much for you to make a whole meal. And I bet these people in West Bloomfield are sitting there looking at their clock and they're thinking, this is the best part of my day. Meals for Wheels is going to be here in a couple of minutes. The doorbell rings and there's that meal. And maybe more importantly, a really nice person to talk to them for a couple of minutes. What a beautiful thing. Do I have that am I pretty close to being on target with that?
Yeah. I did it yesterday.
Yeah.
I took a route.
Yeah.
Yesterday. And it takes me a long time because I like to talk. And I want them to talk too if they want to.
My crew's going to kill me, Candie, but hey, guys in the control room, what we should do? Let's go ride and do it live on TV, for at least part of it. Could we do that? Can we ride along and go take a ride with you guys someday and take our cameras with us and just see what it's like?
I know. Yeah, I'd love that. Pretty fun.
So this sounds like a very high-tech process that you have. But bottom line, the reason you're here, I saw notices that you had up that you need drivers. So talk to me about the volunteers that are really on the front line of this, how you get them and what it's like and what you're looking for.
Well, a lot of them are retirees, so they have time. Sometimes a mom will bring her kids with her, and the kids can help, like they could carry the bag maybe, and the mom, goes up and talks
mm-hmm.
with the seniors. So it's, it's just varied people. I do it sometimes. We've gotten a couple people from a Rotary Club in West Bloomfield. They've been pretty helpful.
Typically, how many stops would you make on a typical route? If you were, let's say, a volunteer and I'm out there my first day, how many people would I see typically?
Well, it's usually like 10 to 13 stops.
Okay.
And sometimes it's, like husband, wife. So then that would be two people at one stop, right? Sometimes it's just one person. So it depends. I did a big route yesterday. I think there was 15 stops, but generally they're not that big.
And about how long?
Same order.
About how long does it take? And I assume this happens around the lunch hour, or would it happen around the dinner hour, or is that variable?
No, it's in the morning.
Okay,
so
in the morning.
There,
okay.
They could pick the route up at like 9:30.
Okay.
So it's like 2 hours, but with construction, it depends how chatty you are, how long it takes you. It doesn't have to take all day.
It would take me all day because I'd be talking to everybody. Candie Hovarter is with us. She's the outreach director for Meals on Wheels. Looking for a helping hand from you. If this sounds like something you might be interested in getting involved with, we're going to give you information on how to get a hold of Candie in just a minute. Now, Candie, if you volunteer, do you have to do this 5 days a week, or can you take part of a weekly schedule? And does this also, are you run these routes on the weekends and on holidays, I assume, as well?
No, we just do Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So somebody could say, I can do Tuesdays, or I can do every other Wednesday, or maybe they would just be a sub for us that we could call if we're in a bind. That's possible too. There's 4 routes in West Bloomfield. So I think we probably serve 55 people a day there, but people don't have to do it every day. You can do it when you can. We do the major holidays like Thanksgiving, and we do on Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day and Easter. And usually the community helps us because they're not working that day.
Right, that's great. Do you need like a big SUV to do this, or what do you need vehicle-wise?
I just put it in my trunk, and I just have a car.
Okay.
But an SUV would probably be easy.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Okay. Candie, it's a great program. I've got family members right now that might be in need of this kind of a service as well, and we can only do so much. Having a helping hand from our friends in the community, awesome. So if somebody wants to volunteer, how would they go about letting you know and getting a hold of you?
Well, they could call our office number at 810-632-2155. Or they could go on our website. It's Meals on Wheels, Western Oakland County. They can look at that and find out. It's, just a nutrition program for seniors, and it's Meals on Wheels. The one I work for, we serve all of Livingston and then Western Oakland County. But Meals on Wheels is nationwide, but they're not all run the same.
Okay, and I assume that if somebody wants to make a financial donation to you, you would accept that as well. Might be a different way that somebody can help out.
Oh, we would appreciate that too.
Okay.
A lot of our seniors are pretty low income, and we feed them regardless. We do ask for $3 a meal, but if they can't afford it, we'll feed them anyway.
810-632-2155 and Meals on Wheels, Western Oakland County. I imagine if you Google that, you'll find Kathy, her organization. She's asking you for a helping hand. Get involved. Sounds like a great program. And Kathy, Candie, we're going to do what we can do. And I'll get back with you, and we're going to set up a time to come out and run one of these routes with you. We'll find out what it's like. Maybe we can encourage some of our viewers to get involved. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Again, 810-632-2155. Candie Hovarter for Meals on Wheels. Thank you so much for being with us today on The Splash. And thank you for watching. That's it for today. The time goes so quick. It's really good to be with you. Make sure you tune in again Monday morning at 9:30. It's a very unique set of programming that we have. It's 150 minutes of live television and radio, because we simulcast this, live television and radio every day right here on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. All the local news and information, the stories, the things you can do to help out in the community, helpful information for you. It's here each and every day. And I think what really makes this whole series of programs unique for you is the fact that it is targeted just to you in West Bloomfield. There is no other live television show and radio show specifically targeted to you. Good luck to Byron Conselmo and the guys working over at the West Bloomfield Library today to get that chiller on the roof and get the library cooled off. Have a great weekend if you're heading out to the lakes and the trails in the greater West Bloomfield area. Enjoy the beautiful weather and have a great weekend. And we'll see you back here first thing Monday morning at 9:30 on the Splash Live. I'm Dave Scott for Civic Center TV. Have a great day.